Hey guys, I want to talk to you about a topic that obviously I'm living out right now, and I feel like it's hard to hear about it in a church. I don't know why that is. I'm starting to hear more churches talk about it in a beautiful way. But I think the problem is our perspective on it. And so I want to talk to you today about stewarding your singleness. Whoo, did you feel it? Yeah, I felt it, the tension. You're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to watch this video. And I'm like, you better watch this video because you need to steward your singleness well. My heart since I was a little girl, and especially in my 20s when everybody around me seemed to be getting married and having children, and I'm sitting here like, nope, ain't nothing happening in that department. I remember telling the Lord, like, Lord, I want to hand you my singleness with every ounce of my being. I want to hand it to you when I hand it to a man at the altar one day. I want to say I gave the name Shay Arthur the best run it could have. I gave Shay Arthur, like, that name moved heaven. That name did something in the kingdom, and I don't want to just hand something floppy to a man and be like, sure, I waited around for you my whole life. No, I want to be like, I did this and I did that, and I went after my own freedom, and I went and I changed the world the best I could. And now I want to look at that man and I want to say, I want to do it together. Now, when you view your singleness that way as a gift, like once you get married, like, there is no return. Like, you don't have a return policy on your husband or your wife. Like, there isn't a, hey, I'm going to take this back and get some money back. Like, no, it is a one and done deal in the spirit. And I understand that there's places where things happen and I'm not going there, but I'm just stating, like, in the beginning, when you first make that decision, like, it is one that is like, I'm in it for the long haul, because God is in it in the long haul with us. And so I think it's perspective. Your singleness is a gift, and we get something that we get to steward and we get to host well. And so some things that I've done when I get in those seasons, because I could talk about the beautiful things of singleness, like the, oh, I don't have to check in with a man, and, you know, all those feminist beautiful things that are real and true to my emotions. But I also want to talk about the deep times of loneliness, where I do see everybody around me getting in relationships and having babies, and life, quote unquote, is so beautiful for them. I think I keep myself in check, and I think you need to keep yourself in check. And some things that you can do in order to slay that fleshly thing that I don't want to say kill your dream, because God's not a dream killer, but I do want to say steward something well in order to welcome in something new. And something that I do, oh, it irritates me just thinking about it. So when I'm lonely and I'm like, man, I just want a man. Like, I want a man to come home and cuddle with. I want a consistency. I want to know somebody is going to be there for me. You know, I'm getting really antsy about this, and I don't apologize. But what I try to do is I try to call a married woman or meet up with a married couple. So it checks my flesh that, hey, like, marriage isn't the answer to your problems. I have lots of married friends that still feel lonely, men and women that are still like, I still fight loneliness, even though I come home to the same man, I'm coming home to the same wife, I still battle loneliness. And so it checks that flesh that wants to say, that's going to answer my problems. That's going to solve the issue of loneliness. And it's not. Straight up, marriage is not your answer. Jesus is your answer, whether you're married or not. And so something that I do to remind my flesh is I go hang out with married people, the ones that'll let me in and the ones that are honest, like, hey, it ain't all it's cut out to be. You know, it's not Hollywood. It's not fantasy land. It's not, you know, like, no, the house is messy. Meals aren't being cooked. The laundry's 5 miles high. But you know what? We still choose to love each other, and love's a choice. And so right now I'm getting the joy of practicing to choose to love my friends, choose to love my family, choose to love well. And in that, I'm choosing to love me well and tend to my heart before a man comes along. And I got to tend to 2 hearts. Help me, Holy Ghost. People are, I want to get married. And I'm like, baby, you need to tend to your heart. You ain't got time to be tending to other people right now. You need to get with God, and you need to let him fill that void. You know, in high school, we had this complex, and I think we all had it, where it's like, if somebody broke up with you or your friend, that person or yourself went and ran and got another man. And it's what we do is we quickly try to fill a void of loneliness. And so instead of feeling that void of loneliness that we feel on the inside, and we struggle because God did give us the desire of marriage, and he did give us the desire to multiply and be family. Like, that's in all of us. And to steward that well, we have to learn to fill that place with other things. Not other things. We have to fill it with God and not with other things. Like, and that's the challenge, is feeling that void. So when I'm lonely and I'm like, baby, I'm feeling my singleness. I'm feeling my singleness. And I'm in all the fields with chocolate and watching TV. I have to remind myself, Shay, like, you know what? You're never going to get this time back. The praise that I can bring God in my singleness, I'll never be able to give to him again on the other side of this. And I say that because that's real. And I want to say that you are not weird for feeling alone, like lonely. You are not weird for feeling that thing and not knowing what to do with the tensions of, I want to be married, but like, what is that tension? I would say, baby, lay it at his feet. Lay it at his feet, trust his timing, trust the tension of his timing, and knowing that he gives good gifts. And until it's good, he ain't going to give it to you. And so do everything you can, partnering with the Holy Spirit to get deep in who he is, and say, you know what, I'm going to yield my singleness as a gift. I'm going to give it as the best gift. Better than not, I'm just not going to hand a man my purity. I'm going to give him all of my spirit. And I'm going to say everything that I've done to keep myself, to guard myself, to go after my own healing, to go after God, I'm handing you. Not just sexually myself, I'm handing you my spirit. And I've done everything to tend to it, to get healing, to get freedom. And when you look at it that way, it is a joy. And I'm not saying there's not parts of that comes with suffering, because there are. And there's times of deep, deep grief and deep, deep loneliness. And I'm not belittling it, but I'm giving you purpose to that feeling. Because you can get through any feeling if there's a purpose on the other side. And so whatever loneliness you're feeling, whatever comparison you may be feeling with other people around you that are in relationships, and you know, they're seemingly like, oh, you know, boyfriend status, and you're sitting here like, cool, I got nothing in this department. You can say, you know what, there's a purpose under this feeling. There's a purpose. And my purpose is that one day I'm going to hand this to somebody, and I'm going to say all of me, not just the pretty parts, but all of me. So I bless you in your walk of singleness. I bless myself in my own singleness. Yes, I laid hands on myself, and I pray that this encourages you to keep going and keep throwing yourself at his feet. And you know what? The time will come where that right man sees you and says, I see not just you, but I see God in you, because you've chased after him. So I hope you have a great day. Shoot. Power to you in your singleness, and may it be the best gift you could offer God and any man or woman.